On this episode of Untold Capers and Crime, we're heading to Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll hear the story of a former career criminal and how a crew he was a member of carried out a string of fast, reckless break-ins that fed a growing underground pill empire. How the influx of demand for pain pills started by these break-ins led to an influx of pain centers in the area, the so-called pill mills, which became the backbone of a multi-million-dollar operation, and how federal raids tore the whole thing apart in a single morning. Our guest tonight isn't using his real name. He's going by Sid, a member of the Knox County OC Crew. His story brings is a first-hand account documented during the investigation. Sid, welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Sid, you were deep in this thing. Break-ins, running scripts, moving product. When people talk about the Knoxville pill mill era, they talk about numbers. Arrests, money, indictments. But numbers can't tell stories. You can. Start us from the top. How did you get involved?
It's funny. The break-ins get all the attention. But for us, they were just the beginning. The way I got in was small time. Riding with a couple guys who were hitting independent pharmacies on the edge of Knox County. We'd scout them first. Look for the rural ones with one pharmacist closing up and maybe an assistant inside. Wood frame back doors, no motion lights, alarms that were old enough to be ignored as glitchy by patrols. One place, out in Powell, we hit that one twice in the same month. Threw a pry bar through the back frame, went straight for the C2 cabinet. OC 80s, Perk 10s, hydros if we were desperate. I'd jump the counter, sweep it all into a contractor bag, and be gone in 90 seconds. We weren't ghosts, but we were close. Those early jobs? They were feeding something bigger. At the time, I just didn't know how big. See, while we were doing all that smash and grab stuff, a whole other system was growing in Knoxville. You'd go into these so-called pain clinics, but they were mills, man. Straight mills. Lines around the block. Folks from Kentucky, North Carolina, even Virginia. You paid cash. Always cash. $100 for a visit. $150 if the doc was feeling bold that week. They'd do the shortest exam you ever saw. Check your knee, ask if your back hurts. That's it. Then they'd write scripts. And those scripts? They were gold. The break-ins were just small potatoes compared to the potential of the clinics. Why break in and steal what they will just give you? The break-in network turned into a network of doctor shoppers, fake patients, and dealers. My job wasn't just break-ins anymore. I was a runner, recruiting fake patients, driving them to the clinics and then pharmacies that hadn't caught on. They'd fake whatever ailment at the clinic, and then they'd fill their prescription. 90 OC, 30 seconds, sometimes 120. And I'd pay them a cut and take the rest to the guys who distributed across counties. That's when I realized this wasn't street crime. It was business. Big business. We'd move hundreds of pills a day, thousands a week. The clinics were coordinated. Like one doctor'd get heat from TBI or DEA, we'd shift everything to another office on the other side of Knoxville.
A lot of crimes happening all at once, Sid. Break-ins, forged scripts, doctors taking cash, addicts being fed a death spiral. Did any of you think about the fallout? The overdoses? The families?
Back then? No. We were thinking about rent, money, cars, survival. This is Appalachia. The jobs are few and far between, and there are exactly 0 that bring in the kind of money this did. It's selfish, but when you're in that world, you don't see people. You see customers. Pills had replaced everything.
So you never felt guilt?
I did later. When people I knew started overdosing. Friends, family. That's when it hit. But by then, we were too deep. You said something earlier about a spiral. Yeah, that sounds about right. The crew documented a lot of what we did. Not because we were proud, but because we needed to keep track. There was one break-in off Broadway. They had these old shelves with the bottles way in the back. We had to climb over the counter and practically crawl inside the cabinet. Another one, the big one, we went through the roof, literally cut through the top panel of a pharmacy building, dropped down with a rope, grabbed everything, and climbed back out. But those break-ins? They funded the early days of the clinics. We brought in enough product to keep distributors paid while the pill mill operation ramped up. Without the break-ins, the clinics wouldn't have grown so fast. That's the truth.
You're describing a pretty coordinated criminal network.
That's true. It started out just some local guys, strung out and stupid, breaking in to get right. In the end, though, it was much more.
So let me ask you this, Sid. When did the cracks start to show? What was the moment you realized law enforcement wasn't just watching, but closing in?
It was the morning raids. That's what did it. One day you're running the biggest pill pipeline in East Tennessee. Next day, FBI jackets are everywhere. They hit 7 spots at once. Clinics, houses, storage buildings. They grabbed records, phones, cash, everything. I saw the writing on the wall when they arrested the head operators. And once the doctors rolled, everybody rolled. You can hide pills, you can hide cash, but you can't hide paper trails. All the little fake patients and doctor shoppers who had their IDs scanned and whatnot pointed right back to us as best they could. The crew fell quickly. Most were just straight caught in the act of something or another. Some got time. Some bonded out and fled. Some flipped, and a lot tried to flip too late. Me? Yeah, I flipped. They had me dead to rights for 30 years if I didn't. I still pulled 5. The county never really healed. Overdoses went up, and then the clinics shut down. And the people who now need help the most are left with nothing but the addiction the clinics were meant to wrestle with from the start.
Sid's story reflects the documented reality of the Knoxville pill mill era. Break-ins fed a pipeline. Clinics fed an epidemic. Federal raids ended the operation, but the damage stretched far beyond Knox County. And as we speak, somewhere in America, someone else is building a network just like it. This is Untold Capers and Crime. Throw us a like if you enjoyed this true crime story. Share the video and subscribe for more.